Shalom, shalom, shalom. Kol halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Kadash. And of course, double honors go out to the apostles of Great Millstone, whose spirit have taught all of us this truth and continue to do so with great humility. Alright, this is Mama, the DC camp. Here we go again. You know, wow. We keep telling you, Jakes, and, you know, just to be extra careful when you're around these cave bitches, alright? As you should know by now, you know, this is spiritual warfare, alright? And these two peoples, our people, being Israel, and their people, they of course being of the nation of Edom, descendants of our brother Esau, alright? But we know that brotherly covenant has been broken for a long, long time. And yet, we still have those amongst us that will champion the cause, alright? To want to live with them. Hell, you have some that they don't even want to be in the kingdom if Esau's not side by side with him. Even after all he's done and continues to do. This is just another one. Alright? This came out yesterday. And it reads, it's from Esquire. Alright? It says, Phyllis Broker, I believe that's how you pronounce her last name. I don't give a damn. Convinced a jury to put Sean Ellis in prison for life. 22 years later, the charges were dropped. Alright, and this is on Netflix, I believe. According to this, it says Netflix's trial for delves to the 1993 killing of Boston detective John Mulligan. Oh, you know they're coming hard, especially one of their slave catchers, one of the overseers, one of their race soldiers. And this is Boston too? Oh shit. There's his hole right here. You can look at it and tell he's got issues. You know, this baggage she brought with him all up through her life, all through school, and into her position she was in here. He goes on to say that he is in the background to the left of that thing. It says Sean Ellis was 19 years old in 1993 when he was arrested for the murder of a Boston police officer, having unwittingly placed himself at the scene of the crime in an unrelated police interview. That's why they're saying, don't talk to them. You gotta understand. The police are considered the arms of the law. Alright? And of course they play this game, you know, they support each other, being the DA's office, you know, the judges, the whole system, alright? But these two play this game between each other. The police department is not held to the same standard as the DA and, you know, the judges there's for. Alright, so they can get away with trapping you up and lying and anything to more or less get the job done. Alright? And that job being completed when your ass is in prison. Alright? Because we all know from history, the original Emancipation Proclamation, alright, 1863, and then at the end of the Civil War, alright, you got the 13th Amendment, and the slaves are supposedly free, just thrown out, whatever will be, you know. So what did they do? They changed up. So now it's the start of the prison industrial complex. And then you had this sham that was the Freedmen's Bureau that was supposed to make sure Jake got squared away with, I believe it was 2 mules and 40 acres, because with 1 mule, you know, But in any case, and then with Reconstruction, all this, Jake was just set up. So you got the prison industrial complex, so now you got to keep the prisons full somehow. So that 13th Amendment, there was that clause in there, about being convicted of a crime, right? So you more or less will return into slavery. And there you have it. So the 14th and 15th Amendment that followed shortly thereafter really didn't mean anything as far as we were concerned. That was just window dressing. Then you had Jim Crow. My point is, none of this was meant to actually help our people. All right, this was to make these damn Edomites, these so-called white people, look good on paper as if they were doing something. All right. Continuing on, it says he was convicted and sentenced to life in prison in 1995 and spent 22 years in jail before he was released on bail in 2015. All right, so he's still in custody those 2 years. His fourth scheduled trial was canceled amid revelations of police corruption. Wow, what a surprise. In his case in 2018. And all charges against him were dropped. So you're looking at 25 years total. 25 years. So he was released on bail in 2015. Alright, that's 22 years. And it was still hanging over his head for 3 additional years. Alright. Netflix's latest true crime docu-series, Trial 4, follows Ellis on his journey through the corrupt and biased American judicial system and courts. Instrumental in Ellis's 1995 conviction and incarcerations after his first 2 mistrials was prosecutor Phyllis Brooker. Again, this demon here. Graduating from the Northeastern University School of Law in Boston in the 70s, Phyllis Brooker practiced law both publicly and privately before Sean Ellis's 1995 trial. At the time, Brooker was serving as the assistant DA and was made the chief prosecutor in the state's case against Ellis and the separate case against Terry Patterson, his friend he was with the night of Detective John Mulligan's death. She argued that the murder was a random crime of opportunity, that the pair had killed the detective who was asleep in his car outside Walgreens as they wanted to steal his gun. Mulligan died because he wore a badge, and his gun was stolen because his alleged killers wanted a trophy from their victim. And as I read this initially, after last part I just read about wanting a trophy, I thought about all the things that these people have done to innocent Jakes for nothing more than looking at someone, usually it's one of their women, or talking back. You're not even talking about anything violent just because you were there. You were strung up, you were mutilated in various ways, or you just outright killed. Alright, I was thinking of one instance in that book, I don't have it on me right now, but 100 Years of Lynchings by Ralph Ginsberg. And there was one instance in there where this one Jake, they lynched his son, and they charged him for cleaning up after him. This is why we tell you, alright, you have to know your enemy. First, correction, you have to know that you have an enemy. And the Christian church plays a big part in keeping our people docile and this replacement theology that we've been victim to for so long over here that tells you that everyone is your brother, and that's just not true. And because of that lie, and these people that have been placed in these gold pits by your oppressor, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and it was strategy on their part. This is why, by and large, because what? Going through the woman once again, because she was placed over the man in this society. Everything is backwards. And it's done to keep our people screwed up. Alright? Psalms 83. But in this particular case, with this prison system, you're thinking Isaiah 42 and 22. It's this. That's why if you can't hope and pray, please, I do not want you around me. This is Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22. But this is a people, talking about Israel, robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore. This puts emphasis on this word pray, because that's exactly what we have been over here. Doesn't matter how many degrees we have. We got a lot of kids that think they can go to these schools which are of your enemy. You're not learning anything to build your own. You're learning to help maintain him. This is Strong's H957. Alright? Buzz. And it means spoil, booty, robbery, spoiling. Alright? Plunder. Alright? It is used of persons and cattle carried away in war. That's what we are. We have always been. We are behind enemy lines. We are spoiled. Alright? Everybody knows this except us. Alright? Also of wealth taken from an enemy. That whole period from when Columbus first came over here, alright, I've heard some describe it as on the eve of the Civil War. That time span, most of the hardcore rape, robbery, alright, and theft had been done. Alright, that transference of wealth, alright, from Israel into these lice-infested maggots called white people, alright? But, if you can't, as a result of this, let's go get this. Let's see. Let's fit on. At some point, you're going to want to get up and get out of here, alright? This is, Isaiah chapter 51 verse 14, the captive exile, which is who we are, hasteneth that he may be loosed. He's supposed to, and that he should not die in the pit. Another word for pit is system. The system that we're in, that was devised for us, is death. Alright, nor that his bread should fail. Alright, you've got to want to get up out of it. This is another one. I'm going to go to Hebrews 11, and let's see. This gives you a roll call of the faithful. Alright, let's go from Moses to Sarah, Abraham. Alright, and when we start at 16, it says, but now they desire a better country, that is, an heavenly. Wherefore the Most High is not ashamed to be called their power, but he hath prepared for them a city. Alright? And that's what we want. Not like that, but rule in righteousness. Let's go to Hebrews 13. And I believe it's 14. Here it is. It says, Hebrews 13 and 14, for here have we no continuing city, which we don't. Alright, but we seek one to come. And that's it. That's what we want. We don't have to worry about this devil being over us and those that support him being the other nations, because they're our enemies too, but he's our main. Alright? Going to Psalms 83rd chapter. All these things are done to keep us from becoming one nation again. But now what do you have? You have Ezekiel 37 chapter happening. It's bringing the northern and southern kingdoms back together again. Alright? And over here we're oppressed together. That's Jeremiah. That's how you know the difference between this Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, and Babylon. Alright? Because original Babylon, the northern kingdom, was already over here. It's only this Babylon that we're together again. This is Jeremiah. Down. And that, it's got them really worried. That's why you're seeing what's happening now, with this vaccine and everything. He's got to speed up the process and starting his new world order. This is Jeremiah 50, verse 33. Thus saith the Most High Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. That's both northern, who were over here, came over here in the circa 700 BC and not before then. Because 2 Kings 17th chapter didn't happen until that time. Alright? So they left that land and came over here to this side of the world. That tells you that in that movie 1492, where he was talking to, who was it? Columbus. He mentioned Esdras. Columbus was known to read the apocryphal book of Esdras, and it told you that Northern Kingdom came over here to this side of the world. Alright, so those are your Native Americans and your Latino tribes, from Argentina all the way up to Northern Canada. Those are Israelites. Once again, Jeremiah 15:33, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go to this day. So just like ancient Egypt, this is spiritually Egypt again, and Sodom. It tells you that in Revelation 11th chapter, verses 7 and 8. Alright? So there you have it. So what's in store for this devil? He's going to get his comeuppance, as they say. Alright, continuing on. It says, broker testified remotely over video analysis 2014-2015 evidentiary hearings before he was released on bail. She was accused of withholding important evidence from the jury in 1995, but testified that she had no specific memory of particular documents in the case and could only describe her general practice in handling discovered materials. Ellis was released on bail after these hearings revealed police corruption and impropriety in the case. And later, all charges against him were dropped. Now, what do you do to an individual that's lost 25 years? 22 on lockdown. By then, a justice, Phyllis Booker, retired in 2010 from the Woburn District Court in Middlesex County, Massachusetts, 5 years before Sean Ellis was freed. They ain't gonna do nothing to her. She's retired. See, you're never gonna get true justice while this devil is ruling. Alright? So that's why we say, fuck reparations. because we know what true reparations are. That's being restored. I don't want your fucking money. Your money means nothing. In fact, this money as you know it, they're getting ready to do away with this system. And everything's going to be digital. Alright? So this place is done. Alright, so I hope whoever views this is edified. Alright, so with that, call the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh, and of course double honors go out to the apostles of great millstone once again, who through the Spirit taught all of us is true, and who deserve double honor. So with that, Shalom.